Hello, good afternoon everyone. How are you doing today? Good afternoon everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine and good. So we'll start off the last day of our lecture, but necessarily the starting point for your project development. So let's all start to join the class. In just a few minutes, we should be going on. So until then, what we can do is you guys can start to share, say hi to your friend mates. How was your day today? Can you say a few words about also the training, how it actually was and everything? Okay, so as we start, before we start the class, you guys start. I can see that you're saying hi. How you feeling today? Maybe you can send out your emojis, expressing your emotions today. Maybe it's a happy face or a crown, or if you're feeling energetic, if you're feeling coding, if you're feeling hyped up, please share your emojis. And at the moment, can you go ahead and also subscribe us on our YouTube and other channels using the link here, because I can see that a lot of the portion of the students in this class are not actually subscribed. So we really appreciate you do that, as we are going to start the class in just a couple of minutes when most of the students start to join. We have 40 students online. We're expecting more. So as we wait for the students to join for 2 minutes, let's use this as a social media time. So please go ahead and start sharing about this training, what it was and everything about it in any of your social medias, so that we can still reach out to even more group of people. And please mention us in any social media. We are at infnova.tech, at infnova_tech. I can write it in the chat. You can tag us so that we can see the comment and also start connecting to the community. So I'm sending this in the also the community group. So please go ahead and start doing this in the social media. Let's have 2 minutes to do this, 1 minute remaining, and then we should be good to go. Okay, let me read some of the comments that you guys have sent out. So Islamic Chronicle AI said, "You're really good with only 5 days." I can't believe it. It's already gone away. I can't believe it as well. Arsema said, "Hello again, the training is going amazing with me. At what time is the group assignment is going to happen?" It's going to be today, in shortly. Hello, I'm good. The training of the last 4 days was an eye-opening to me. That's good. That's good. Okay, let's start our training. So we're going to resume learning about the CSS. So I saw confusion of the homework and stuff. Some of you have done it. It was the last exercise that I sent you. Some of you have done it, some of you haven't, but necessarily it's just an exercise. It's not a homework or it's not counted towards your certification. So no worries, but I really appreciate it if you can do it so that it's good for you. Okay, so today we're going to learn about Flexbox, CSS Grid, and also an introduction about responsive web design. Why is it actually important to have a responsive web design? So Flexboxes are, I can say, the very important layout system in CSS, which is quite helpful. You can give directions to your components. You remember that we have block component and inline components, right? So if you just can write it in the comment section, the difference between block and inline elements. So inline elements, they keep on going horizontally, and block elements, they keep on going vertically. So likewise, we can use Flexbox so that we can have the direction of alignment towards row alignment or column alignment. How would you like your components to be aligned? Do you want them in a row format or in a column format? This is very important when you start to do a lot of components and you would like to group the components in a way that you like it. So the first thing that you should do when it comes to Flex component is the Flex container. So in your CSS, you need to be able to add the Flex container, which is actually going to activate the Flex. Okay, so you should say this is dot container, the name of the class. So you can see this example that I've written here. So it's a div. Inside the parent div, we have a couple of other divs. Div is a block component. So inside these, we have other child div components. So this is the parent component. The indented ones, which is a couple of space inside, those are the child components. So the child components are in the parent component of container class. So we have to give the container class a display flex, so that this means display flex has been activated. Maybe I can show you a couple of things on the example, but before that, let me go ahead and explain what we're trying to do. And next, the other thing about flex is which direction are you trying to apply the flex layout? Is it in the row direction, which is left to right, which is usually the default? And is it in the column direction? Is it top to bottom that you're trying to apply the flex? So there are different ways that you're going to apply the flex. I'm going to try and show you what differences it actually makes. So what you do for that syntax is, this is still in the container class, and then we have display of flex, which means flex has been activated, then flex direction, and we give it column. So which shows that it's in the column direction that the flex has been activated. The other property is the alignment property. So don't worry, we're going to do an example for all of this so that you can start to master it. So the other thing is you need to align. You know, what's align in Microsoft Word or any writing application? Do you know what align is? Can someone say it in the text? Alignment, text alignment. I'm expecting answers. What is text alignment? Exactly. At Sion Tadese H4U said it's where we make the text either center, left, or right. That's correct. And Lelena said to put the words or sentence in a position center, right, or left. Pretty much. And the same way here also, this applies. So justify content means it's aligning the items, not specifically the text. It could be any item. It could be an image. It could be a paragraph. It could be a header. It could be anything inside of a div. So any item, if you use justify content, then it's going to align it in the horizontal direction, like the Microsoft Word one. So it's going to, you probably can give it center, which means it's going to be in the center of what the size of your screen. And if you say space between, then you can assign the amount of space in between. You can make it even, or you can give specific amount of space in between the components. Space around means it's a rounded amount of space that you're going to give. It's not only left or right, but also a rounded one. Space evenly, if you say space evenly, it's going to divide all the items to the ratio of your screen, and it's going to evenly distribute the items. Flex start, if this is at the beginning, like it's left justified in Microsoft Word. Flex end is going to be at the end. And align item, what it does is it's the same as justify content, which is horizontal, but here it's in the vertical direction. It's in the vertical direction that is going to center it. If you say center in the vertical direction, it's going to be here. If it's going to be end, it's going to come to the end of the screen. This should be the end of the screen, considering my camera. And if it say at the start, then it should be at the beginning of here. Necessarily, it really depends the amount of space that it actually holds based on the border, the padding, and everything that we have discussed, the margin and everything. So, and stretch is to stretch it in the amount of space that it actually has. So, I think this much is enough before we go. Oh, one important thing, gap. So you can add gap to your display flex items, which is, you can specify it, but also, as I've said earlier, you can make it happen by generally making it evenly space itself. But also if you feel like, oh, I can put in a specific amount of spacing size, then you say 20 pixels, 30 pixels, 40 pixels, anything that you actually like. Okay, so let's go ahead and start coding. So for today, I have created a new folder, this one. I really suggest you guys also do. So I'm going to open up this folder in VS Code. Okay. File, open folder. Day 5 web dev. Okay, so let's create a couple of folders. I'm looking for a new file, index.html. Style.css. Okay, let's go to the index.html. Okay, let's start with a very simple example. So let's do doc type and roots HTML. Head, we need the title to be, I mean, today it's kind of intermediate. I can say CSS class 2, and we link our CSS, which is style.css, and in the body we're going to write a couple of divs. So make sure that you have your indentation in a correct way, even though it doesn't cause actual error, but it's never going to be readable unless otherwise the divs are correctly written. So I'm going to give a class for the parent div, a class of parent, so that we can understand it well. And for the inside divs, I'm going to give it a class of child, so you know what the relationship actually means. So Okay. And you can keep on having more indentation, like I can have more indented like child. I can make this grandparent and this is a parent and also a child. You can keep on indenting the way that you like. For me, this much is enough. So I'm going to duplicate this for a couple of times, maybe 4. And let me give each of the divs a different name, like A for the first one, B, child B, and we have child C, and the final one is going to be child D. Okay, let's make it come here. Let's save this and run it on live server. You can see that a title is coming here. Let's check what's wrong with that. And the divs are working correctly. Okay, so title, the spelling is incorrect. Okay, now it goes to the title at the browser and we have all the divs here. Okay, so what we can do now is a following. So let's go for our CSS and let's select the parent and give it a style. So I'm going to give it a style based off the flex. So I'm going to say display and I'm going to activate flex. And for the child, I'm going to give them a border model that we've discussed. So I'm going to say padding of, let's say, 20 pixels and border of maybe 10 pixel. Yeah, border style solid. And let's give it a border radius of, let's say, 10 or 15 pixels. And color of green, yellow. Okay, let us see what just happened. Okay, you can see now this has been changed into something like this, but you can see that there is a lot of connection in between them. That's because we don't really have a margin. So I'm going to go ahead and add a margin. Let's actually make it 25 pixels so that they are distant apart. Okay, now we have a margin of 25 pixels and they are apart one another. Eshi. So now this is necessarily just applying the flex. But what if we really want some of the features that I've been describing to be applied in the flex? Then we can go ahead and let's say I wanted to apply making it, justifying it in the horizontal direction. So what I do is I say justify content and maybe center, and let's see what happens. For this case, actually, it would have been good if you are able to see so that I can make the screen and also the code half screen. Can you see the code? Is the code visible? If the code is visible, it's better to code like this. Can you give me a thumbs up? Okay, I'm going to answer a couple of the questions that you guys said. But for now, can you go ahead and tell me if the code is visible or should I? Okay, it's visible. Okay, why did they actually, since they are a block element, why are they actually in a line format? So that's because of this styling. If I comment out this style, by the way, if you would like to comment a certain part of a code in CSS or HTML, I think, no, it's different in HTML, but in CSS, what you do is a forward slash and asterisk, and wherever the comment is going to end, you also put asterisk and a forward slash. This way, this code is not running. If I save this, you can see that they are actually in a column format instead of row format. This is coming due to the display flex. And display flex by default, it's in the row direction if you don't actually override it by making it in the column direction. That's why. Is the question answered? I think that was Delawit's question. Delawit, did you get it? Good. Okay, so I'm going to revert it back. So I'm going to apply this. So now I'm going to add a couple of things so that you can understand. Let's go ahead and see, let me make the margins a bit smaller so that we can be able to see some of the effects. Okay, so making the margins small, now they are closer to each other. And I'm going to say justify and space between. You can see that they are now evenly spaced, considering the space in between them, not the space apart from them. Let's see what happens if we go ahead and give it evenly. Now, the space outside them is also equals to the space in between them. Please, so check out every possible opportunities inside here, the values that you can give, and start to understand how you can apply it to your projects. And you can also give actually a background color if you like to. So let's say background, and I could maybe select grayish something. Now you can see that throughout the flex, I have a background of green. So if I resize this to be a smaller one, now you have a navigation bar. You can make every of this clickable, and then you have a navigation bar, right? About section, contact me, or maybe the team and different sections about in the website. Yeah, this is pretty much it. But also you can add. Now we are only playing in the horizontal direction, but also you can be able to add like let me say align item. This is going to be in the vertical direction. I go ahead and say center. But nothing changed. This is due to the fact that it's actually been in the flex is in the row direction. The flex is in the row direction, you saw that. But I try to align within the space that it had in the vertical direction. But it's not changing anything because there is no space in the horizontal vertical direction. So I'm going to go ahead and give a height. So that you can see the effect of what's happening in the row direction. So you can see that now it's also playing in the vertical direction. If I go ahead and change the alignment item to be in the, let's say, start, I think, yeah, flex start. You see that now it goes to the top of whatever the area that specific flex is holding. And I can say flex int. So now it goes to the bottom. You can also make it center so that it's in the center. I believe you got what I said. But also the other thing is you like to change fundamentally the flexing direction, then you can also add the flexing direction so that it flexes in the column. So as I said, by default, flex is in the row direction, but let's say I wanted to change the flex direction. So I say flex direction and I say column. Now you see that it's in the column direction that it's flexing. I think this was the question from Adelaide earlier. So this way you can be able to flex it in the horizontal direction. So I believe this is clear, and you're going to crystallize it as you work on the exercise. So let me just go ahead and give you a smaller exercise, and then we can come back. Okay, so go ahead and try this. This 1 minute challenge. And go ahead and send out your what you've done. Okay? Start working. So the question is, create a layout with the following requirement. Make a container with 4 boxes. Use Flexbox to arrange them in a row, not in a column. Then center them vertically, add 15 pixel gap. I haven't showed you what pixel gap is. It's necessarily, I showed you in a like evenly spaced between and everything. But if you say gap, you have to specify it like 15 pixel, 20 pixel, whichever number that you like. And push them to the center horizontal. Okay, let me also share my code so that you guys can check out my code and do yours. So I'm going to send out a code both in the Telegram, also in the chat. And let me do the same thing for the styling. I'm going to send it in the Telegram and in the chat. Let me try and see what you guys have done. I really appreciate it if you can actually send out the image of what you've done. Okay, so let's do it together. So that you can see, I am going to make it half a screen. So class dev4, which I have already done, and then you're going to apply some of the features that have been done. So I think most of you have done it, and it's mostly similar to this one. The only things that change are justify it in the center horizontal, I think. That was the question. So alignment center and justify also center. Center. And give it a gap of 15 pixels. Yes. And you're not required to align the item in this direction. Yeah, this is how it should look like, I think. But generally, you get the concept of how it's done. So I give it a flex or direction of flex. It's not specified to be in the column for the question. So this is going to be on the row. I have removed a line item. That's not correct because it says center horizontal. So center. Yeah. It doesn't specify about the background for this specific question. So this is how it's going to be. Good. So if you're looking for the answer, then I'm going to send you the styling in the chat section, also in the Telegram. Oops. Okay, let's proceed. So next up is CSS Grid. So Grid is typically a way that you see some products like galleries, image galleries. If you saw on websites, image galleries where there are a lot of cards that are there. I think the typical example for this could be, I don't know if YouTube does that. I don't think YouTube does that. When you search for a video in your YouTube, how does that actually appear? It appears, it lines up on the side. That's also a grid. That's also a grid, but a different way of grading. So typically, I would like you to imagine like a grid. There are vertical and horizontal columns, and you can put a lot of the things that you like in a column way that you really appreciate to put it. So CSS Grid is actually a lot that we can do with galleries, dashboards, anything related to vertically and horizontally distributed components. I think the best example that I found at the moment is, shopping from Amazon or Alibaba. If you go ahead and search a certain item, then a lot of the items are in a grid format. Maybe I can show you actually. If we go to Amazon.com, and let's try searching for, I don't know, iPhone. Now it's bringing it like this. This is not what I was looking. This is a grid also. This is also a grid. But for you to understand it well, this is not what I am looking for. Alibaba, let's try Alibaba. I'm looking for a bell. And this is also a way that you can put a grid. Okay. Anyways, we're going to build it, so it's okay. So in doing a grid, we need to first define the grid, that display grid. We said earlier display flex, but now we say display grid. And we give the grid template column, which is, for example, look at here, 200 pixel, 200 pixel, and 200 pixel. What this means is it's going to make one column of 200 pixel, another column of 200 pixel, and another column of 200 pixels. We have 3 columns with each size width of 200 pixel. There is also another way that you can be able to create a grid using FR. So FR, what it means by FR is it's a fraction of space. So I can say grid template column, and I can say 1FR, 1FR, 1FR. So which means each 1FR is equal. So it's going to divide the size of the whole screen into equal parts. The other is gap, the gap between the rows or the columns. So let's do an example, and I'm going to show you so that you can see what's going to happen. I'm going to delete this. Look, without the CSS, this is all it looks like. This is why we say styling CSS is the flesh of our product. Okay, so let's we have 4 grids, and let's start applying the style on the 4 grids. So if I am correct, it was parent, the class name, and then I'm going to say display and grid instead of flex, and then I'm going to give it a grid template column of 1FR. It's much easier to do it like that. So I can say 1FR, 1FR, which is each of them are 1 columns, 1FR. And for these equal columns, between them, I'm going to give them a gap of maybe 15 pixels. Okay. And for each of the child, I'm going to style them with a background, the background of salmon color. By the way, the salmon color is close to the salmon fish color, right? Comment if you feel like it's the same. So I'm going to give it a color of green, not green, bluish, but something light blue maybe. Okay. And we are going to give it a padding of, let's say, 25 pixels and border of 5 pixel. By the way, for borders, you can give the size value and you can give the solidness, and also you can give the color all at one place. So I'm going to choose the color. I'm looking for grayish something. And finally, yeah, that maybe border radius. No. Border radius, and let's give it 10 pixel. Okay, now you can see that this has been changed into something like this. So necessarily I wrote a text inside here and it's put it in a grid format of like this, where each grid is actually containing 4 elements. But I could be increasing or decreasing the amount of columns. Let's go ahead and increase the amount of child. Maybe instead of just A, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for an image in my computer, and I'm going to bring back the image into this page. So maybe do I have a good image? I don't know. Okay, it's not easy finding an image. So I'm going to just use maybe this promotional image and put this in the folder that we're working today. Yeah, Dev here. And let me name this image to be 1. And let's create a folder, new folder. And that folder, let's say image. I put this image inside image folder. Then instead of just A, I'm going to say image source. It's inside of image one.jpg alt image. Okay. If I save this, you can see one of the div has an image. Let's give it a width of maybe 10% of what it was. Ooh, that's too small. Maybe 50. Still too small. Okay. Now we have that image inside there, and let's duplicate this for all. Let me remove this. Oh, I have done it in the parent class. No, I haven't. So I'm going to couple of them. Now you can see that, but I need to decrease the size a lot. But you can see that it's a grid where each column includes a couple of them, and it's been sized as such. I'm going to decrease the padding into 2 pixels, border into 1 pixel, and radius as it could be as it is. Okay. You still can see it's most of the image are not being it's difficult to change everything, but I'm going to remove this whole thing and give it a size of 100 pixel. I think that much is enough, or maybe 75 pixel. Okay, let's now go ahead and you can see that it keeps on adding 4 rows regardless of the amount of cards that we have. So if I make this 3 rows instead of 1 FR, then it's going to make it 3 rows. Okay, this is the space in between that's creating it. You can always start to play with it to avoid that. You can also make this, instead of writing these 4, 5, 6 several times, you can just say in a simple format, you can say repeat for 1 FR. Okay, so this is the same thing. Just to improve this one more time, I'm going to make it 100 pixel so that it's going to fit perfectly. I believe. That's my belief. 100 pixel. And let's duplicate it. Yeah. So this is a way that you can put a couple of items of like your shopping list, and you can add one card in beneath it so that it shows what the product is and everything. Yeah, so this is what we call a grid. I'm going to send out the code for you in the Telegram group, also in the chat section before we pass on. This is the HTML, and this is going to be also the CSS. Okay. All right, so let you guys do only one of the question, and we will proceed to the next one. Okay, this is, you don't have to do 2 of the questions. Just do question number 1. Create a grid with 3 fixed columns, 150 pixel, 150 pixel, 150 pixel. Instead of 1 FR or 1 fraction that I used, you're going to use 150 pixel. And then add 3 items with any background color that you like. For me, I gave an image and also gave it a background. But for your case, no image. If you like to do it, go ahead and put an image and maybe even remove background, and it's precisely an image. Yeah, go ahead and do this. Let's have 2 minutes to do this exercise, and then we'll be back together. We're going to do it together. Okay, I can see that a couple of you have already done it. So it's pretty much straightforward, right? So I can see that Siona's done it. And also, I don't know who this name is, but also has done it well. Yeah, it works perfectly. One suggestion though, for Tion's work, it's good because you've done it in two CSS and styling sheet in different ones. But here I can see that you've done it on the same thing. This is highly not recommended, okay? Don't do the style inside of the HTML. Even someone with an image. Good job, good job. This is a bit different than what I asked because we're looking for 3 columns. Instead, this is 2 columns. Anyways, you guys have done it. So it's nothing different than what I've done. So it's pretty much going to be straightforward. Let me do it for the sake of doing it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to change for the child property, but only for the parent. Here I said, for one FR, I'm going to say 150 pixels, 150 pixels, and 150 pixels, and then I'm going to close it, which means it have now created 3 columns with a size of 150 pixels. Voila. Okay, let's proceed. All right, responsive web design. So responsive web design, what it means is, how is your web going to actually act in a phone, in a tablet, in a laptop, in a larger screen like a TV or even a presentation demo, big, huge, screens. This is something that you always need to consider. So where do you think is the huge amount of traffic from the internet coming? From the tablet, laptop, phone? Which one do you think? I would like to hear about this in the comment section. Where is the huge traffic of the internet coming? From a laptop, from a TV, from a tablet, from a phone? Where do you think is the huge amount of internet coming? Internet usage. I would like to hear your thoughts in the chat section or in Telegram. Barakat, Dagam said phone, I believe, and Robel said phone. Yeah, obviously, it's coming from the phone. We are more used to working with our phone throughout the day than our laptop. We use our laptop for work, but for our phone, we always have it, even when we're walking, when we're eating, when we're sleeping, when we're in different part of in our daily activity. So that's why we always need to have the mobile first approach. So this is very important because mobile first means you first design for smaller screens, then you add CSS rules for the larger screens. So because the lot of traffic is coming from the mobile, you need to focus on the mobile so that most users can actually benefit from a good user experience. You can see that, for example, this was in the mobile view. It's 1 row, and if it's in a tablet, you can make it in a 2 row. If it's in a laptop, 3 row, a bigger screen, 3 row, and if it's a TV, maybe 4 row, and you keep on adding a couple of things as such. And you can see this dot button. It's here first, but it goes on to be at the center when it's in a bigger screen. So I'm not going to go through the coding of media query, but I really suggest that you go ahead and read. What it does is necessarily it flexes, it fits to the different screen sizes. Yeah, this is pretty much how it's done, but I'm not going to cover these for now. So these are the sizes that you can consider. 480 pixels are mostly for mobile, tablet is this size, and small laptops are 1024 pixels. Okay, let's proceed to the second part of today's class. I feel like this is going to be important for your project, so I'm going to cover part of it. So this part of the lecture is something about pseudo-class and transition and animations. So transition and animations, I think I'm going to jump those, but I feel pseudo-classes and pseudo-elements are very important in your development journey. So transition, animations, media query, you can read them. It's not something very difficult. You just have to read it and you should be good to go. So pseudo-class and pseudo elements lets you special states. It gives you special states, decoration, add extra things to your HTML structure. Let's start off with pseudo class. So we have four basic or common pseudo classes. The first one is hover. I believe you know about hover. Hover is when you hover about on something else, then what's going to happen is it's going to actually show certain kind of activity when you hover over a button or anything else. The other is focus. Focus is necessarily what it means is it's triggered by a click or when you tap on it. Okay, so it's triggered by that. And the other one is active. So active is triggered when you click on it. And the other is ends child. So what it means by ends child is actually it's better explained in example than said. But you remember about ordered list and unordered lists. So in your list, you say UL, and inside of it, you keep on listing a couple of things: orange, banana, strawberry, ananas, and you keep on going. So the ends child, what it means is the first in the list is the first child. The second in the list is the second child. And it keeps on going until the end of the list. So you can start to pick up the specific child and start applying. This is a pseudo class. Before I go to pseudo element, let me do one example for you. Let me create one button on the HTML side. Let's say button and click me, hover me. We write something like that. Click me. Okay. So let's go to style and let's give it a style. Let's style it. Button. And let's give it a background color of aqua, and maybe padding. Actually, let's give it a padding of 10 pixels. And let's see what happens here. We have this button. You see this. So nothing happens when I click. There is no image color changing or anything else. Let's go ahead and apply, let's say, the hover effect. So to apply the hover effect, what I do is first I choose the button or maybe the class or maybe the ID, and then I do double colon, not double colon, and then I say hover, and inside hover I can give like any style that I like. So I'm going to make the background color to be lime green when I hover over it. So now look, when my mouse hover over the click button, it changes. It changes, you can see that. Or I can also apply other feature. Instead of hover, I can say active. So when I say active, let me save it. So when I say active, when I hover over it, nothing happens. But when I click on it, it changes color. Whenever I click, it tells the user that he actually have clicked the button. So let me also show you about the ends child. Let's make a list, unordered lists. Maybe this ordered list has a class of menu. Let's say you're in a restaurant. And it's typically Ethiopian restaurant, let's say. And let's not give it a class necessarily. We don't really require this. And in this menu, we have shiro, which is the famous Ethiopian food. We have other things like farfar. And we have, can you tell me Ethiopian foods? Gamfo. Also, one Ethiopian food, one more. Can somebody help me? Dorot. Okay, let me save this, and you see all the list appearing here. So I can go ahead and to my stylish sheet. Dagmon Magin, thank you for the kaywat. I said Dorot. We telepathically communicated, even though we haven't discussed. So I'm going to go and choose from the menu class dot menu, because I gave it a class, and then I'm going to say child, because I'm looking forward to choose the specific child. Yeah, and child. And you can choose even, odd numbers, whatever you like. But for now, let's say I don't have some of the menus for today. I think number 4 is Dorot, and we don't serve it today. To show that, I'm going to make it have a color, of gray. So we don't have Dorot for today. It's not that visible. Oh, I should say, I just said menu. Menu includes everything else. Inside menu, I should say li. Oh, it works now. For us to see well, I'm going to make a .menu class with a style of color blue for everything else. Maybe not menu, but just list. List is blue, and for the ends child, I'm going to make it gray because we don't have Dorot. You see now, it's being grayed out. The fourth child. If I say here the second child, it's going to make the second one, whichever you choose. So you can play with this using variables so that you can update your menu using any way you like. This is the effect of pseudo class. The other is pseudo element. So they're necessarily the same thing. It's just a very small, slight difference. Let me show you. So when it's pseudo element, the only difference that we have is we're looking for to add a certain type of element before or after a text, a paragraph, any element, any item. Before or after it, we can be able to add any new item. Okay, so let me go ahead and do an example on this. On the same thing that we have done here, I can say for the pseudo class, so I choose dot menu list. Actually, this is going to be double selection. I'm going to choose something different. Maybe the button. Let me choose the button. So button, and then I do double colon instead of one, and then I'm going to say after or before. So if I say after and I say content, and I can add, like, for example, 2 asterisks. You see now there is click me text and we have 2 asterisks after it. And also I can add another one. I can say button before content, and I can add maybe something different. Where's the $sign? $sign. So now you can see before the click me, I have the $sign. Okay, so before and after is known as the class element. The others are known as class, pseudo class, and this is pseudo element. Yeah. So this way you can be able to play with your code. So I'm going to send out this for you in any case you would like to apply it in your project. So I'm roughly going to introduce you about JavaScript, but before that, I'm going to give you your homework. So this is your homework. It's opening in a different place. So this is your homework. I'm going to send you the picture, and also a form will be sent out to you so that you have to do it anytime that you like, just before you have to send it out tomorrow at any time. It shouldn't be midnight. until tomorrow midnight, you can be able to send out your homework, okay? This is your homework. So deadline is Saturday midnight and GMT +3 for those of you living in other part of the world. So this is it. Let me just introduce you about JavaScript. So necessarily understood most of the things regarding CSS. But in web development, you can never learn in a class all the syntax and every thing that you actually want. You only learn the very important ones, but then once you understand the very important ones, then you can go ahead and search for any of your style. There is endless list of syntax. There is no one in the world, I believe, who knows all the syntax. You always search for your specific case and you can add up, okay? So JavaScript is something that I've spoken in the very first class. So HTML is the skeleton. As you saw, CSS is the color, the layout, the font, and everything else. If you think it as a human, then the HTML is the typical skeleton, and CSS is the skin and the clothing. And JavaScript is the brain and the muscle. Theodore, you asked, what is the meaning of a double colon? I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but the one that you wrote is correct. That's what I meant. That's 4 dots. Okay, so why do we actually need a JavaScript? So JavaScript, without a JavaScript, websites are very static. There is nothing that is active or animating well, or maybe any actions are very, very dull. So to make it very dynamic, then it's very important that we include JavaScript. So response when someone clicks a button, shows or hides content, validates form, because we haven't seen how to validate form because we haven't learned JavaScript. Makes animations, slideshows, pop-ups, communication with our server, refreshing the page like YouTube does, Facebook or TikTok. You can be able to build web apps like Twitter's, Gmail, anything using JavaScript. So JavaScript runs almost in any browser that you know. You don't really actually require any installation. It just works automatically on every devices because it's integrated in every single online activity that you see runs JavaScript behind it. So why do you have to learn JavaScript? I really suggest that you do. And for those of you who have signed up for who are going to sign up for the full class, you're going to learn full JavaScript, plus even more frameworks for your front-end development. So because it makes your website beginner, I mean, why is learning JavaScript, why do you have to learn it? Of course, for your website to make it very good. And also the language, it's the language of the web. If you don't know JavaScript, there is no other way that you can be a good web developer. And it's beginner friendly, fairly enough. And it's very powerful, very powerful. It's required for most of the front-end, back-end, mobile app, and most of the things that you see on the web actually run JavaScript at their end. So just for you to understand what JavaScript is and a full demo, I'm going to show you one of the things. It's a color game. So let me run it on my browser. So it's a very simple game. You can choose between easy and hard. And also you can say new colors if you feel like the color that is given to you is not correct, is not something that you know. So it's known as the RGB color game. So here it shows you the RGB color palette, and you're supposed to choose from here one of the colors. And which one do you feel like this is the color? Because this is R, this is G, and this is B. So R is more dominant, and I feel like this is the color. Yeah, voila, I got it. So I can say now when I win, it says you're correct, and it gives me the option to play again. So I can say play again, and it gives me color of still this is reddish and greenish, something red and green dominating. Very difficult to say. This? Nope. This? Nope. You see, it keeps on reducing the ones that you are not correct. I think this is, yeah, voila, I got this. So you can keep on playing in an easy mode also, where it gives you a 3-color scheme. And this is R, this is G. I think definitely this is this. Oh, it's not. And in that case, it is this. Yep, I got it. But for the next one, I'm definitely sure I'm going to get it correctly. This is red dominant, and this is going to be this. Back. This is green dominating. This is, oops, it should be this. Yeah, this is an interesting game. So for your project, what we've done is, this is about JavaScript. You can start to learn by your own, or maybe join our class. And for those of you who haven't heard about what I said on yesterday, so maybe Dave could resend the pricing survey that we sent, but I can do it. It's right in front for me. There you go. I'm sending it. Please go ahead and fill it. For those of you who are interested to take the full development front-end development class, including JavaScript and framework, and also some GitHub actions that you're going to do. These anyone who will fill this form, regardless of the price that we're going to announce this training, they are going to have 500 birr discount. We're going to close this form tomorrow when the training ends. So make sure to fill it if you're looking forward to learn. And tell us what you actually require in that form also. Yeah, so let's move on to the project section. So Dave, maybe you can send out the Dave or Nati, one of you can send out the form for grouping. So we've grouped you into I think a couple of groups, I think 7 or 6. So I understand there are a lot of people in one group. So depending on your group, you can do 1 project or 2 projects, but this is validated by your mentors. So mentors, please go ahead and check if their projects, if they are able to do 2 projects. There are a lot of people. Let's say if there are actually 14 active people who are working in the same group, you can divide it into 2, 7, 7, and they can do 2 projects. Unless otherwise, they are going to do 1 project. So the one highlighted in yellow is the team leader. So we have randomly assigned a team leader for each team. For example, for group 1, Hemant Tesfaye is the leader. For group 2, it's Naima, and it keeps on going as such. And if you believe that you need to change the group leader, that's up to you. Go ahead and discuss and change your group leader. But if you feel like the group leader is fit, then go ahead. For each group, there is a Telegram group. Maybe Dave, I think you have sent it in the chat for them to also view as I'm explaining. Yeah, it's been sent. So the group structure has been sent. So you click on your specific Telegram group, then it's going to take you to the Telegram group. This is for example, Robel Work Agenyo is the TA the teaching assistant for group 1. He's going to guide you through the project. So because for the poll, we have most of the people looking for the presentation to be in the afternoon. We are going to make it in the afternoon, okay? So we're going to make it in the afternoon. So for those of you who would like to come and do it in person, our location is Kazanchis, Kadus Plaza. I think it's in the 5th floor. You can always ask in the group. Also, we can send a map pin. Kadus Plaza, Kazanchis, Kadus Plaza. It's on the 5th floor. Okay, you can come there and you can see the space. Also, you can do the presentations there. You can come a bit early if you're looking forward, like let's say, because the presentation is going to be at 2 p.m., which is 8 Ethiopian local time in the afternoon, 2 p.m. GMT plus 3. It's going to be in the afternoon. That's when we're going to start the presentation. So you can come a bit earlier, like let's say 6 o'clock, or which is 12 p.m. or 1 p.m., so that you can start to communicate with your team and get ready for your presentations. If you feel like you do it or you want to do it online, that's up to you. You can do it online. Yeah. So make sure to join the Telegram group, and we're going to give you, we're remaining with 20 minutes, and we're going to give you that time for you to start to discuss with your team, a specific team. Start the conversation in the Telegram group. You can send links like meeting links so that you can discuss and brainstorm about the idea. So tomorrow in the morning, you should be able to start to do one of the project idea, okay? The mentors are going to support you and choose one idea to work, a project that you are going to work. So the project that you're going to work is not something very difficult. I really suggest that it is something much easier to work with. So here is a structure of how we're going to grade or rubric it. So use semantic HTML, use Flex plus Grid, include forms, responsive design, hover animation, multi-section navigation, also like multi-page, and possibly like sections like about, projects, contact us, and a couple of things. It could be a certain portfolio about a certain place, let's say Paris, or maybe England, or maybe Ethiopia, or 7 wonders of the world. You're trying to show it through your website, or a personal portfolio. But personal portfolio is not the case for this project because it's a group project. Think of something that you would like to show off using a website or a company. If you have a product line that you would like to show, do a website for this. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to send out this so that you can include it in your groups and start discussing based off this. Yeah, so I leave the floor to you guys. There is no exam today, but an attendance will be sent out. So Nati or one of the assistants, please go ahead and send out the attendance in the group so that they can start to fill the attendance. Yeah. Beyond that, that's it. One final thing is we're also going to host another training. This is also free for you, thanks to our partner. We're providing this freely to you. It's going to be December 1 to 6 and the same time, so 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So if you feel like you want to learn about it, go ahead. This is about robotics and IoT. If you really want to make any hardware solutions, then this course is actually for you. Through this course, you can start to develop well. maybe we're going to put a couple of testimonies so that you can understand. If you don't feel like you don't want to learn, please go ahead and share it to anyone that your friends or community, anyone that you like. Okay, I'm not taking any much more time. Please focus on your project as I play my color game. Okay, I'm going down now. Go ahead and start doing. If you have questions, as always, you can ask. Okay, so I see a couple of questions. Let me try and answer your questions. Okay. Okay. So afternoon wish time, there is a Premier League game, bro. I'm sorry then. This is also a class. So we don't cancel class for Premier League, I'm sorry. So the time is 2 p.m. GMT plus 3. You have 10 minutes for, actually 5 minutes for presentation. And 5 minutes for demo. You can select the presenter that you like. So I'm sending this in the chat section, also in the Telegram group. Oops. Oh boy, I'm not able to copy. Nati, can you write it in the also in the Telegram group? Yeah, the other question is, so some of you said my name is not in the group, then maybe we're going to send out another form, or maybe the same form. Go ahead and fill out the same form. Then we're going to identify you. We've been saying this all through the trainings. Israel said, who presents the project? You select. You guys agree on who is going to be the presenter. Someone said, shall all group members attend the presentation? What if we are not available in a specified time? But you can agree for that. I don't really mind. All members should not appear in the presentation, but every team member should be working together. But during the presentation, they should at least be online, okay? Because there are a couple of things that you need. By the way, there is another exam. There is a full exam that's going to take 30 minutes tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow's class. It's important for your certification. There are a couple of forms that we're going to send you. So if you miss out those, that's going to highly affect your grade, and you won't be valid for certification. But for the presentation sake, one person can present. When is the submission deadline? At 8 Ethiopian local time. At 8, I really suggest you complete it before that. You'll submit it after, but the presentation would start then. We'd randomly pick up groups and you guys start to present. When we call out, let's say, if you're in group 2 and randomly you're the first presenter, and if you're not ready, we're going to pass you. And I really suggest you don't get passed. We are not fully allowed to hold meetings, calling, Telegram group. Send a Gmail meeting. Yeah, that's it. Ignite the discussion. If you have any more question, there is no exam today. Someone said, is there an exam today? There is no exam today, but tomorrow after the presentation, I think the presentation is going to take 35 minutes for all the team. That we're going to finalize the presentation at 3 p.m. Ethiopian time, East African time. And then we're going to send out one form that you're going to fill and an exam after that. Those two things that you feel are very valid for you. One is the attendance, the other is an exam. So the exam is going to be 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and it's going to include everything that we've been learning. Edna Tasfaye said, I'm not in any group. That's because you haven't registered. Please go ahead and register. You're crying for it. It's okay. Please, one of the assistants, can you pin the registration form? Maybe Dave or Nati, please go ahead and send out this form in the Telegram group so that you guys can register, and we're going to add you in one of the groups. What time is going to be tomorrow's exam? At 3 p.m. 3 p.m. or early if we finalize the presentation early. Generally, it's after the presentation, so don't miss the presentation. Okay, you guys are asking in a circle. I have already sent out when the presentation is. It's 2 p.m. Dagen. It's 2 p.m. Ethiopian time or East African time. Okay, please go ahead and start discussing in your specific teams. I take a break now. You all start to grind.